Welcome to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast, where we provide constant improvement to businesses through timely, actionable financial solutions. Do you want answers to your financial questions? Email us at bsp@kaizencpas.com. I'm your host, Mark Valesky. Now let's get started. Welcome to another episode of Kaizen Time. I'm joined by Clay Hamlin, a partner here at the firm. Clay, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, I'm curious. You hire people here at the firm, and they come in a variety of shapes and sizes to match the positions that we have. So some of them are a little bit younger and newer. What are kind of some things that we need to look out for when hiring people like that?
Sure. So when we're hiring, our mindset is we're hiring for hungry, humble, and smart. So hungry is desire to work and to do a great job and help others and stuff like that. Humble, usually most people understand that, but is not thinking that everything that they're doing is right and that they can take direction from others. And the last one is smart. Smart is people smart, not necessarily brainy smart. Mm-hmm. It's better actually to be people smart than brainy smart. Anyway, so over the years, when we're talking about younger people, over say like the last 5 to 10 years or so, business owners have told me, like if you think of like waves, right? So maybe like a wave from like 10 years ago to 5 years ago. A lot of business owners would tell me the new hires or the people just coming out of college at that time, or just graduating from high school and coming into the workforce, weren't very motivated. Like it was just their job, and they would go home.
They would just show up, and go through the motions.
Yeah,
and that
wasn't like they were the hungry wasn't there. The problem that we're running into now is a wave of younger people who went to college and high school through COVID.
Okay.
And if I can believe my own kids, because they both went through this, went through in school through COVID, is there's a lot of cheating going on, and some of these young people didn't really learn the basics like the way they should have.
So are we talking about like the use of ChatGPT during high school and college?
We're talking like math and English. I mean, we're
talking basic
stuff, right? So, so now what we're thinking about, so like when I said hungry, humble, and smart, and like people smart is better than just brainy smart. One of the things we're doing right now, though, is we're starting to think, well, maybe we should actually be testing a little bit more for just basic
technical skills,
basic knowledge. Like, can you add, subtract, multiply, and divide?
Can you tell time? Can you show up on time?
Can you write a basic sentence? We're not exactly sure how to do this very well, because we've, in the years I've been here, we've never really thought that was like a major deal. And I don't necessarily claim to know like I'm not a sociologist or, a person who looks at statistics of the population or something like that. This is all kind of like word of mouth or, people telling stories about what they're seeing. So I can't completely verify this, but it seems to be that I've seen some of this too, where what you thought someone should be able to do fairly easily, they can't. And so it's like, all right, are we going to have to teach you some basic stuff? So we're looking at like there's these online training classes and stuff like that. If someone has the hungry, humble, and smart, but people smart, but maybe lacking a little bit in some basic stuff, we're sending them back to take some classes on what you might think is like high school stuff.
Okay. So realistically, because I want to kind of get this back into the whole hiring realm, what are kind of the metrics that people should be using to determine if someone is a good hire, is a good fit? Is it like your core values? Is that really like what you should be targeting, or is it like a technical skill? Is it different for everyone?
It's not easy to hire for our core values. Essentially, we try and find someone who's hungry, humble, and smart, and then teach them our core values. We live our core values, and then they absorb those core values. So it's not we don't really look. We tell them what our core values are.
Okay.
But we assume that we're going to have to teach and demonstrate our core values on a day-to-day basis, and they're going to fit in or they're not. But the hardest thing to hire for is hungry. Like, does the person really want to succeed? And it doesn't matter whether you're digging ditches or doing a tax return. Does it motivate you to go to work and do a great job? If you have that desire inside of you, you can do anything you want. It really doesn't matter.
So let me ask you to kind of expand on that, because I think a lot of people are looking for someone who's hungry when
Sure.
hiring. What are some things to look for? Like you should be able to tell during the interview process, or maybe it's on their resume.
The books that I've read about this say it's the hardest thing to interview for. And oftentimes you don't know. You're making guesses. So as an example, I might say to you, Mark, over in this part of your resume, tell me what you think the best thing that you did. What are you most proud of? And how you explain that to me might give me some insight into your motivations. It might not too. But to really know whether someone's has a burning desire to succeed, good luck. I think it's a 50-50, to be honest with you.
It's kind of guesswork is what you're saying.
Sure. Oh, I think it totally is guesswork. The one thing you can do is come up with a set of questions that sort of benchmarks.
Okay.
One thing that we like to do is for any particular hire, see at least 4 or 5 people. And even though we may have a benchmark of, say, 20 or 30 hires over the past few years, or interviews over the past few years, and we ask them the same question, you can kind of see like how well people answer a particular question. That's helpful. I still don't think it's determinative of whether the person actually has a desire to succeed. It might be that they're just a good BSer, as they say.
One thing I want to ask, because I know that at Kaizen you guys use the EOS system, and a good fit for an employee is one who is good at the task and likes doing it. Can you expand a little bit on that?
Oh, okay. I give it my best shot. I might be riffing here a little bit, though.
It's okay. I heard that you may be good at BSing.
So EOS is a entrepreneurial operating system, and it tries to define what issues you have and then make progress on them. Make a decision, make progress. Identify your goals, your aspirations, your issues, make a decision, execute on them. And EOS sort of holds your feet to the fire on that. So, for example, if I have 3 to-dos coming out of yesterday's meeting, and by next week I've not addressed them in public in front of my peers, I will be asked, "Hey, Clay, did you make any progress, or did you complete any of these?" You never want to be like, "Well, I forgot."
Yep. Gotcha.
So yes, there is a certain amount of task orientedness to it. Not everyone in the organization really touches EOS. And so now it comes down to, well, do you have defined goals for your employees? So like if it's, here's that machine, go make it work. Well, that's one thing. But if you say that machine can do 25 parts a day, and that's what we expect from you, that's a much different scenario.
And it's much clearer.
And then, you have up on the wall, how many did you do today? 25. Next day, how many did you do? 25. Next day, how many did you do? 21. What happened?
Gotcha. So in reality, you are still kind of looking during the interview process for the good fit, but you don't really know all those until they're actually in the position. That's hard.
That is correct. That's why big companies hire slowly and fire fast. It's a mantra. It's very difficult. I will tell you that. But that's what big companies always tout is hire slowly and fire fast.
Okay. And getting kind of back to talking about younger employees, have you found any, I guess, useful tactics or tools that have worked well? Because I know,
getting them bought into our culture, getting them bought into why we're doing what we do, that there's actually value. They're not just coming to work to punch a
clock. Yep.
Yeah, punch a clock and go home. There's a bigger picture here. I think is helpful to them, and it's helpful to me too. I think in particular, even for younger people, they want to know that this is not just a punch the clock job and go home and have no idea what value we bring to anyone.
Perfect. Anything else you want to add?
No.
All right. Thanks, Clay.
Thanks, Mark.
You've been listening to Kaizen Time, part of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast. If you like what you heard, subscribe and leave a 5-star review. This podcast has been brought to you by Kaizen CPAs Plus Advisors, providing advisory and accounting services to help you grow your business. Learn more at kaizencpas.com or email us at bsb@kaizencpas.com.